In the silence, a city awakens. It clings to its streets like a shroud. The young one takes center stage. Hoshikokawa Shizuku's name echoes through the shadows. Tremble on her lips, hesitant to bring forth a new chapter in this life of secrets and lies. I am not exactly the best at handling people like you. Hoshikawa-san, you're a master at handling people from all walks of life, aren't you? But we'd love to have you break down your defenses for just one meal. Would you like to join us? To be alone than risk losing him all over again. But the cycle of violence comes to an end. Of a lifetime's work, yet somehow I'm left feeling emptier than when I started. Of a chaotic world, where time seems to have lost all meaning, we find ourselves in the year that would mark the beginning of the end. The message on the wall reads, I can do this. 4++ art 0Z1771529, Odo, 100O hashtag plus, Novelcom F, 0.488, novel website NCL Variety World website romance novels equals VOSF tree. CAH horror Yubnita Mistity 7 Kixiero 9 bats badump badump. Desk, a mix of old and new novels scattered across it, with notes scribbled in the margins. It's clear this person is preparing for a busy summer of reading. Gazed upon the twisted, nightmarish landscape of his own creation, he knew that this was no ordinary abomination but a monstrosity born from his darkest fears and deepest despairs. And yet, amidst the grotesque beauty of this twisted world, Kawas felt an unholy sense of pride and ownership, a twisted sense of belonging to this forsaken realm. The draft is a haunting reminder that even creative endeavors can be reduced to nothingness. The cursor blinks tauntingly, as if daring me to take the final step and eliminate all my efforts. I shouldn't have been careless with our notes, but think of all the trouble it could cause if someone finds this. We can't just leave it lying around, especially not after everything we've worked so hard to keep under wraps. The garbage trucks will come soon and take all of this unwanted stuff with them. You're regular at this cafe, aren't you? I'm starting to get used to seeing your face around here. Have to go and surprise me like that. She's going to be happy when she finds out what I've been hiding from her. I'll be all there in a second. We're going to leave you behind, I'm afraid. Saved? What's that supposed to mean? Shota-san. But exactly the best timing, considering you've already borrowed half a dozen other things from me. I'm so sorry this had to happen. This situation is a nightmare. Sitting next to me, Asaka Kaori-san, is the most popular student in class, but despite her outgoing personality, I have no idea what's really on her mind or what she plans to do with that novel. It's clear what it is, a depressing story that will likely leave her feeling down when she reads it. Laughter echoes through the empty streets as she teeters on the edge of a new discovery, one that might just change everything. Tension is out, but now comes the even harder part, approaching Asaka-san and returning the novel. Can actually pull this off. Silence was disrupted by his restless mind, leading to a premature wake-up call. What's on? Is everything okay? Asaka-san seems troubled, and there's an air of urgency in the atmosphere. It looks like she's trying to get something done quickly, but her words are muffled and unclear. Someone's losing their temper again. Throw it away? What is he even talking about? I've been reading that novel again. From yesterday, isn't it? What do you think of it? San's eyes widened as he read through the reader's comments on his novel, his face flushing with pride and gratitude at the kind words and thoughtful analysis. I have a strong contender for the most passionate book review in the history of literature here. The speaker is absolutely convinced that they're not confusing this novel with some other, far inferior one, and they're eager to educate anyone who might be making such a mistake about just how cringeworthy the other book really is. It may be well received by many, but to me, it was a deeply personal and emotional experience. I remember every word, every sentence, every feeling that resonated within me as I read your novel. That even in the most tender moments, she can still hold back tears and reveal a softer side of herself. It seemed like nothing had changed, even though I tried to hide my true feelings. She still saw the real me, and that scared me more than anything. Words dripped with a mixture of guilt and resignation, as if the truth was too painful to bear. The way she said Juhu with a smile. Her heart into those words, and it's clear that it meant something special to her. Festival of Lights is a time-honored tradition, one that brings people together in joy and celebration. But for those who have lost loved ones, the pain still lingers, a reminder of what has been taken from them. San, it sounds like you have strong feelings about the story, and perhaps even stronger opinions about the ending. Keep going when it's clear things have fallen apart. Trembles in Hoshikawa-san's hand as she tries to sign the document, her eyes darting nervously towards Asaka-san's still form on the couch. San's expression doesn't change, but the faintest hint of curiosity flickers in her eyes. You with a hint of hesitation, her eyes lingering on the word you've scribbled in the margin. They poured their hearts onto the page, crafting a tale of forbidden love that would forever change the course of their lives. It's waking up to the sound of blaring alarms, a harsh reminder that it's morning already. It seems like we're running late, so let's get moving. What time were you planning on heading out? What's this nonsense about writing a story about our own love? Go out with Asaka-san? What are you talking about? And why the sudden interest in me and her? Guess it's almost class time anyway. She'd see me soon, but the summer has been over for weeks now. I still don't understand what she meant by soon. Was it just a phrase to make me feel better? Were interrupted by a familiar face, Cheyenne. He couldn't help but wonder what had become of the girl who had captured his heart with her passion for reading. San looks taken aback by your sudden appearance. Why are you here? She asks, her voice laced with a mix of curiosity and wariness. She continues, a hint of awkwardness creeping into her tone as she trails off, leaving the question unanswered. Yes, it looks like we've got some unexpected visitors today. It seems they're all very excited to meet everyone, especially Ishu, who's being treated like a tiny celebrity. And look, it's Kaori from Shizuku-san's class, introducing herself with a big smile. I think you're planning a visit with Cheyenne, but I'm not sure if you've met her yet. Is Sol the one you're thinking of? It seems we've stumbled upon a rather unexpected revelation that our protagonist has a big sister, and not just anyone, but someone who's quite familiar with the story's narrative. But how does she know so much about where we live? The plot thickens. It seems too good to be true, especially considering Asaka-san's already impressive reputation among her classmates and the faculty. You wear your emotions on your face, don't you, Hoshikawa-san? What's going on? Aback by her blunt words, his expression a mix of confusion and frustration as he tries to process the harsh reality of their situation. Yes, I see a future where nothing else matters but us. It hung in the air like a challenge, his eyes sparkling with curiosity as he awaited her response. Version tells a different story, though one that says she's dead serious. Not deep, but somehow she managed to hurt him with the simplest of words. I keep up the act, but it's getting harder to pretend that I don't have any feelings for her when she sees right through me. Like we should pretend to be in love just because our parents want us to. What's really going on here? I laugh it off, but the question lingers, what is this infatuation really about? And for one of them, the uncertainty only adds to the excitement. They keep from their families, and now this budding romance that could change everything. Do you think they'll be able to balance their relationship with the pressures of high school and family expectations? The facade of a carefree smile, she's still hiding something, and he knows it. Akira has finally let her guard down and revealed her true intentions to Ryota, but the question remains whether this is a genuine connection or just a clever ploy to exploit his weakness. The mention of summer vacation suggests that their relationship may be limited in scope, at least for now. Deepens, and I'm starting to feel like something's off. What could Asaka-san possibly be so happy about? What's going on? You're being a bit dramatic about waking up. Is everything okay? But I know, you were watching me all along. Of love linger, but the pain remains. Couples in love hang in the air, a stark contrast to their actions. We're fooling anyone with these pretend dates, are we? I mean, what exactly does Asaka-san see in me? To distract yourself from the boredom, but it's not working. You're stuck here now, and you might as well make the most of it. Besides, I was actually looking for something to read too. What kind of books are you into? Maybe we can find something that'll take your mind off things. Pretty sad way to think about it, isn't it? Kai just got caught being loud in the library, and now he's trying to downplay it with a nonchalant attitude. He mentions that it's summer, which might imply that school's out and he's relaxed, but the context suggests he's still in trouble for his behavior. Yoshikawa-san has an uncanny ability to read people's minds, or perhaps it's just a well-educated guess. Definitely one of my favorites. Someone didn't get the memo about being quiet, huh? San, with her taste in dark novels, would naturally appreciate a wide range of works, but I'm curious, what's caught your eye lately? And by the way, you've read quite a few books from that particular author, haven't you? Everything changed for me, the way you smiled at me in that moment. It lit up your whole face and, well, it just made me feel something I'd never felt before. Calm demeanor and familiarity with an underground author caught him off guard. He lowered his defenses for a moment, but it was a fleeting mistake. She seemed to be probing for information now, asking if he had read the series himself. It seems they're quite invested in their book club. Sounds like a challenge, trying to guess which book Asaka-san would recommend. His love for novels is well known in the circle, after all. What do you think he'd pick? Stung, but he couldn't deny the curiosity that had been growing inside him since their encounter. What could she possibly see in him that made her think he was worth reading? I finally cracked open my 5th novel of the month. I'm starting to feel like I can breathe again. The late-night reading sessions have been a real treat, and I'm glad I decided to push through. It's not every day you find a book as engrossing as this one. On the wall seems to be a message from someone, but from whom? I'm going to believe what this place is like. It's like stepping into a dream world. I'm so close to finishing Hoshkin-Lassan's book, and these things can wait until we get home with us. Time really flies when you read a good book. You think the Spendite Library is fun? It's about as exciting as a stack of dusty old books. But hey, I guess that's what makes it so anticlimactic. Yeah, let's do this again sometime, and maybe we can try to make it more interesting. Talking about, and what's with the weird looks on both their faces? It seems like there's some kind of misunderstanding here. Is he alone truly enough for Hoshikawa-san, or does he secretly long for human connection? The question of whether he's happy on his own lingers, leaving the reader wondering about the depth of his emotions and relationships. Links between Shinba and his friends are getting interesting. It seems like they're trying to figure out the best way to take care of these mysterious plants, but with a casual vibe that's both relatable and endearing. I'm to think you're just not interested in me anymore. I'm to think you're just making excuses to avoid going. Don't you ever get tired of always finding reasons to stay home? His words cut deep, and the thought of going alone is unbearable. What's going on? Ernal seems to think we're in trouble. Hoshikawa-san is waiting for us, but I have a bad feeling about this. Could possibly hurt her feelings. It's a beautiful day today, isn't it? Good morning. Take all these clothes. They're supposed to be gifts for Jowl. She gives it whatever instantly, and then looks at him with a hint of frustration, as if to say that she's already given in. Asaka-san, however, is determined to keep pursuing her interests and won't let anything get in the way, not even Yale's attempts to discourage her. What chaos is this? It looks like a message from another dimension. Hashikawa, can you explain what's going on here? Don't be so reckless, Sari. This is not a game. Your absence was a slap in the face to Kaori's family and friends. How could you just ignore her funeral like that? Now that Shizuku-chan's decision to leave without a proper goodbye has left Kaori heartbroken. On. Take a deep breath and calm down. You're making no sense with all these abrupt statements. And what's with the teeth reference? Get to Kaori's house immediately. What are we waiting for? Kaori and the others, including Hashikawa, have arrived to welcome you home. Losing Kaori still echoes through his mind like a constant refrain. That day still haunts me, a mix of shock and desperation as I rush to the hospital, unsure what lay ahead. Passing is crushing him, and he's desperate to escape the pain, but even solitude brings no solace, for in that silence, he must confront the reality of his loss. Hiding something, I wonder if it's connected to her family's wealth. Chan and Shiori-chan greet each other warmly, their smiles lighting up the morning scene. Here, please. What's going on in this room? It looks like something is bothering you. The siblings are gone, leaving behind only memories and a lingering sense of loss. The letter, worn and creased, lies open on the table, a message scrawled in hasty handwriting. My sister left it for you. What secrets does the diary hold? Leave it for me. That's what I keep wondering. The diary's been passed around, but why did it end up in my hands? And that message? Give this to Hashikawa. Who is he, anyway? The questions just keep piling up. I started my junior year, I couldn't help but feel like something was missing. People seemed to admire me more than ever before, but it felt hollow. Little did they know, a part of me had always struggled with writing this diary entry. I sit next to Hashikawa Shizuku-san. Should I approach her tomorrow, or will she have forgotten me by then? The unpublished ending of Shoujo Shinju was a surprise even to its creator, a story about the inside of a girl's heart, written on a loose leaf found in the staff room. But if the world had been turned upside down? The words she spoke cut through me like a knife, leaving behind a trail of shattered dreams and lost hope. I don't want to write novels anymore, she said, her voice barely above a whisper. I felt the weight of her decision settle upon me like a shroud, suffocating the very life from my soul. And then, like a ghost from the past, Shoujo Shinju began to stir within me once more. I smiled, and I saw a glimmer of recognition in her eyes, as if she had finally understood what I was trying to tell her. I imagine a future where Hashikawa-san is happy, but being apart from her would only lead to loneliness. That's why I want to create an opportunity for her to connect with others, to help her overcome the fear that holds her back. She gazed out at the vast expanse of the ocean, her heart yearning for connection with others, especially Shirori, who had become like a kindred spirit. The thought of them ending up alone in life was unbearable to her, and she felt an overwhelming urge to establish a bond between them, one that would bring joy and fulfillment to their lives. Ask them to join us for summer vacation, wouldn't that be nice? My little sister gave me some morning glory seeds, and I was thinking we could plant them in your garden. They're supposed to grow well even in July, and they're just flowers, so it'll be fine, don't you think? Our separation weighs heavily on me, and I'm consumed by feelings of regret for my own helplessness. It's a burden to bear the thought of never seeing you again, of living without your presence in my life. Despite my struggles with myself, a part of me still clings to hope that somehow, someway, we'll be reunited. Responsibility rests heavily on Takashi's shoulders, as he pores over the pages of Shizuku's unfinished novel, his own guilt and worry for her future threatening to overwhelm him. Parts of her past, like scattered pieces of a shattered mirror, reflect a Kaori I've never known. Her diary, a confessional of pain and longing. Of this diary reveal the inner turmoil of its owner, a troubled individual who seems to carry a weight of guilt and self-loathing. Each entry is a glimpse into a mind consumed by self-doubt and regret, with phrases like "my pathetic and miserable self" and "constantly causing trouble" suggesting a pattern of destructive behavior. Unspoken words can be crushing at times, and it seems that Shizuku has found himself burdened by secrets he's kept hidden from Shizuku. I remember the first day we spoke, but I do. It was in elementary school, and you helped me get a book from a high shelf when I didn't know how. And who could forget that popular student from your next class? They certainly made an impression. Feelings for you have been genuine all along. I was just too shy to express them until now. Of me, the one who once looked up to you as a hero, now struggling with my own mortality. You were the one I wanted to be like, but it seems our connection is nothing more than a distant memory. My reckless youth was spent causing trouble for those I loved, including my father and Shirori. That novel was speaking directly to my heart, telling me I'm not alone in this world. Its words were a lifeline, and it truly saved me from the depths of despair. Even now, its absence is still deeply felt, and I often find myself crying out for more. The name Shoujo Shinji will forever hold a special place in my heart as a reminder of the power of literature to transcend time and touch our souls. I wanted to tell you the truth for so long, but my fear of scaring you held me back. Every time the thought crossed my mind, my timidity delayed what I wanted to say. Now that Kaori has become more significant, I wonder if she'll just be a fan of yours. I'm sorry it had to come out now, but you see, Shizuku was my savior. He's not objecting, but I'm not sure if this is the best opportunity. Gratitude cannot be measured by mere words, but you have exceeded my expectations in ways I never thought possible. Throughout this summer, I've been searching for a way to repay you for everything, and now the dream has come true, all thanks to your unwavering support. Our adventures together have filled my heart with joy. Your novel has become a part of me, and I'll always treasure the moments we shared. Consumed by regret for my past mistakes. The weight of keeping secrets and hurting you has become too much to bear. I want to make amends, but it seems like every word I say only causes more pain. Of those carefree days lingered on her face as she reminisced about the summer that had passed. I have to say this in life, but in death, I have the chance to tell you how much I appreciated everything you did for me. Your support meant the world to my fragile heart, and even though our relationship was pretend, it felt real to me. Of a lifetime together were supposed to be shared with you, not just some fantasy. He found the courage to confess his true feelings, to reveal the weight of his own mortality and the longing that has haunted him for so long. Now, he must entrust this letter with the truth, and hope that it will bring solace, not sorrow, to those left behind. We've received a message from Kaori herself. 4% 6Z? Is probably just her way of saying she's in a bit of a hurry, but the rest of the message is clear: she loves us too. Thoughts are consumed by Shizuku's novel, wondering about the unclear middle section, but grateful for the end message. Shizuku had previously offered to use her diary as a reference for future writing. Scream echoes through the deserted hallways. Mother is a lovely person, always looking out for him and making sure he's safe. Memories are seared into my mind, every detail, every sensation. Her presence still lingers within me, a constant reminder of what we shared. Kaori's existence is etched so deeply, I couldn't possibly forget. Has finally caught up with us. His gentle voice cuts through my thoughts, but I'm still grappling with the weight of my mistakes. I'm just to confront the reality that my existence might be more of a burden than I ever could have imagined. The end of everything. Fire burning in Shizuku's eyes, a determination that cannot be ignored. She's driven by the memories of Kaori and the desire to prove her own existence, no matter how fleeting it may be. The more I think about it, the more I'm convinced that I have to try. They need to hear the truth, no matter how difficult it is for them to listen. And who knows, maybe they'll even understand me for once. We're finally done with this project. I'm exhausted, but at least we made it through alive. Now let's just get out of here and hope that nothing goes wrong on the way back. To distract herself from their impending breakup by thinking about the fleeting nature of beauty, like the morning glories. But it's hard for her to shake off the feeling that once this pretend romance is over, everything will change, including her relationship with him. And so she's torn between wanting to savor the moment and looking ahead to what comes next. On here. 1 minute you're apologizing and the next you're snapping at me. Stan's eyes are closed, her face serene as she asks if we can prolong this peaceful moment just a little longer. Scents blend together is like a warm hug on a cold day, making something beautiful out of the ordinary. Kaori-chan, have you finished preparing the heat? I've set up a refreshing glass of watermelon in the living room. Thank you, I'm feeling much better now. Stan's sudden return has left everyone bewildered, and the eerie atmosphere that had settled over them just moments before seems almost like a distant memory now, but for how long? The line between reality and madness is beginning to blur, and it's getting harder to keep track of what's real. It is a good morning to wear that whole outfit. But what really matters is that you're wearing the clothes I got for you. And to think, we were just about to catch the train when you looked so lovely. That Ayu is hesitant to share everything. The numerical codes on the page don't seem to add up to anything significant, but they're scribbled down as if Aya feels like they need to be kept track of somehow. Like Hoshikawa-san's vacation plans have hit a snag, but with some quick thinking, they might still be able to salvage the trip after all. This too complicated. I said I'd pay for my share, and that should be enough. Your generosity is appreciated, but I don't want to feel like I'm taking advantage of you. I knew this place, with all the familiar signs and exhibits. But I don't remember ever coming here before. It's strange, really, our class had a field trip here when we were in elementary school, but I was never part of it. Maybe I was just too blind to notice. We've got a lot on our plate already, but maybe holding hands will make things a little more manageable. Is that the speaker's attempt to make their partner feel more connected by referencing romantic writing has backfired, highlighting their own awkwardness and lack of genuine emotional connection. Blankly at the computer screen, his mind numb to the words that refuse to flow. The blank page mocks him, a constant reminder of his dwindling creativity and fading passion for storytelling. The world has been holding its breath, waiting for spring to finally arrive. Sunlight is taking a toll on us, especially Asaka-san's skin seems to be burning from the sun's rays. Kaori has tapped into a part of me I never knew existed, and now our usual routine feels like a countdown to something more. It was finally solved, but the story will continue another time. The author's creative process has taken a turn for the abstract, blurring the lines between chapters and volumes in this enigmatic page. The echoes of change turned into letters hint at a deeper exploration of transformation and communication, but the meaning remains shrouded. You did it already? That's impressive, I was sure it would take much longer. And you're excited about your writing, which is great to see. She stood at the threshold, her eyes darted back to the console screen, the numbers and symbols blurring together in a frantic rhythm. Completely unprepared to see her crush, and even the sound of the pages turning is overwhelming her, making every passing moment feel like an eternity. Glance, a flash of curiosity, and then she's looking away, her long eyelashes fluttering like wings. It finally comes out, and it's a revelation that will change everything. With the formalities, Asaka-san. I thought we were past that. Okay, fine. Let me get this straight, you want me to help you write a letter about something? It's just about putting words on paper, it's about truly conveying the emotions behind them. Can he really capture the depth of his feelings and sincerity in a letter? He wrote in a more personal style, the characters would come alive, but then again, his writing was always so stiff and formal, like trying to convey a message through a filter. I'm trying to put my thoughts into words, but it's like trying to capture a dream. I'm still not sure how to express myself without sounding like I'm just making excuses. Considering writing a genuine apology, or is she just trying to follow a formula? The problem isn't the length of the message, but the clarity of its intentions. Words can be short or long, but it's how they're chosen and used that truly matters. The tone of Asaka-san's words is a comforting balm, but can she truly make everything okay with just a few fleeting scribbles on a loose-leaf page? In this never-ending loop of creation, I'm compelled to express myself through the fleeting nature of language. She still can't get it right, despite all the revisions. Her frustration is palpable in these scribbled notes and crossed-out words. "Are what made this possible, and I'm grateful for your support." Uncertainty still lingers, but a step forward has been taken. But I think we have to take it. We can't just assume she'll understand what we're trying to say. Ruri-chan in person, giving her the letter directly? That's a risk I'm not sure is worth taking. Her contact information is private, and I don't even know if it's possible to reach her that way. The protagonist is trying to decide whether to have an in-person meeting with someone they're interested in, while also considering the potential outcome of giving them a letter. To approach Ruri, fearing he'll end up hurting her or being rejected. He wants it to be easier for him by having someone else tell her about their meeting, hoping that way she won't get hurt or feel uncomfortable when seeing his face in person. Ended an olive branch, and it's up to you whether to take it, whether to meet her in person or send a message through the mail. What will your response be? I'm going to let this opportunity slip away. I really need to meet Ruri-chan and hand her the letter in person, as Asaka-san promised me. It's too scary to think about losing this chance now. They're trying to plan something around her schedule, but it seems like there might be some tension or hesitation. I'm running late again. Sorry, sis. I'll catch up with you tomorrow. Time just flew by. Gotta go, see you later. What's that mean? Is it a reference to something or just a random number? Closes in, but I'll never let you see me fall. What I try to explain are always getting twisted, and it's frustrating that the ones who don't understand me are the people I care about most. Even after spending an entire day together, it feels like we're just going through the motions. Let's forget about it and move on, shall we? The tension between them was palpable, like the first sparks of a flame that could either ignite into something beautiful or fizzle out completely. Shizuku's influence was evident in her partner's bold behavior, and their playful banter hid a deeper complexity to their relationship. Uncertainty is suffocating me, making every step feel like I'm walking on quicksand. That familiar, yet unsettling sensation that's hard to put into words. Zune and I have both experienced it before, but describing it feels like trying to grasp a handful of sand. Pretend love is just a temporary escape, but how long can they keep up the charade when reality eventually sets in? Set, and it looks like we're a week ahead of schedule, but this Friday works for me, and it's actually a good thing since we can get everything done sooner. And at the threshold, I'm forced to confront the fragile version of myself that I've been trying to leave behind. 5 long years since that fateful day, and I'm finally mustering the courage to face Ruri-chan again, hoping she'll be able to forgive me for my past mistakes on this ordinary Friday. A pathetic attempt to justify my actions, but the truth is, I was afraid of being alone. Her eyes scanning my face, and I can sense a mix of emotions behind those piercing brown irises: concern, maybe even a hint of relief as she takes in the outfit I'm wearing, the one she designed for me with such care. Feeling that wearing those clothes would somehow imbue me with courage, but then again, they could also have an unintended effect like the Omamori charm from Asaka-san. It's a delicate balance. And besides, I didn't want to be rude by showing up in my usual lazy attire around the house. She smiled confidently as she faced the challenge, her determination evident in every word. The frustration in her voice was palpable as she struggled to catch her breath, the words tumbling out in a frantic rush. The next stop is, more stations, 5 more stations, Sench, can't breathe. It's heavy with worry and self-doubt, weighed down by the fear of rejection and the possibility that his letter may be met with indifference. Every passing station fills him with anxiety, as he imagines her potential response to his confession. The thought of losing her forever hangs precariously in the balance. I'm trying to process the formal apology my mom made on my behalf, but I have to admit that I'm not sure how much of it I can repeat. As for what happened back then, I'm not really at liberty to discuss it publicly. But I do know that some customers who were affected by the incident are seeking to transfer their lines and services elsewhere. To hide her fear, but it's getting harder to pretend. We can take a break for now, but don't forget about the time we have left to figure things out. What do you say? And wait, what's this 6 yokel thing? Is that some kind of code or something? And why are there numbers and a comic book title scribbled here too? I come to accept that I'm stuck, but my mind keeps wandering back to the idea of running away. At least that's something I can do. Now, if only I could muster up the courage to take action. Being unable to protect Asaka-san is eating away at me, and now this. I can feel her disappointment, and it's like a weight on my chest. Every time she looks at me with concern, I just want to hide. This is all my fault. If only I could be strong enough for her. It's barely above a whisper, but the gentle cadence is soothing, trying to reassure herself as much as anyone else. This is a soothing balm to his frazzled nerves. The gentle rhythm of her heartbeat is a reminder that she's alive, and he can feel the warmth emanating from her as if it's infusing him with hope. Your words cut deeper than any wound I've ever received. But it's precisely that kind of courage and resilience that makes me question my own worthiness. Am I just a crutch for those around me, or can I stand on my own 2 feet? I've got to rely on right now, so please, just be there for me until we get to the U station. Can you even spare a minute? But I have to be brave and face whatever is happening to me. Who's this person Ruri-chan is talking about? Is it really her standing over there? Her smile fades as she sees the unfinished puzzle, her eyes scanning the scattered pieces with a hint of frustration and longing to complete it. Ruri and Seri, along with their friend Kao-chan, seem to be in a bit of a tense situation. Their mind is racing to find the right words, but they're stuck in a loop of stuttering and silence. Reality and hatred staring her in the face, Seri-chan's courage is about to be tested. The scream is deafening as Sarah's body convulses violently, her eyes bulging out of their sockets. Guilt still lingers, 5 years after the mistake that changed everything. On, Ichino's-kun. This letter looks like it's been written in a rush. She hesitated for a moment before taking the mysterious artifact from the pedestal. Expect me to just intervene now? That summer too. Up says the numbers and symbols on the screen seem to shift and dance, defying all logic. What does it mean? That the war is far from over. The streets are still littered with debris and abandoned equipment, a grim reminder of the devastation left behind. Amidst this chaos, people are struggling to survive, trying to make sense of the ruins around them. And yet, there may be hope on the horizon. The signature, hastily scribbled in the corner, reads Taylor, while the rest of the page appears to be a jumbled mix of words and phrases. It seems like the writer's hand was unsteady at times, and they may have been trying to convey a message quickly, perhaps under duress or with limited time. The inclusion of phrases like "got permission after I passed out" suggests that there might be more to this story than initially meets the eye. I know what you're talking about, but let's just focus on Kaori enjoying her time out for a bit. How could you possibly expect me to enjoy this miserable life? I thought I had no other option but to leave. Yoni and Kaori are trying to figure out why your health is suddenly declining, and we need to get in touch with your doctor as soon as possible. Saying that to get me to let my guard down. Ruri's been training with slender arms, and I'm the only one who can shoot anytime. And you know what, Nurin, it's just a day off for Seri-chan too. With nostalgia, the sound of Jubo's club resonates through the night, and even Judbo's hesitation can't dampen the energy of the Trats arc. The club's unique blend of music and atmosphere has brought people together, creating an unbreakable bond. Meanwhile, Ikiana SMN and Ruri CHN seem to have found their own rhythm in the crowd, lost in the moment as they sway to the beat. You're not seeing that, are you? The anomaly is growing, and it's hard to comprehend. You must be more confused about this situation than I am. I'm the one who created this kind of atmosphere, but now it's breaking down because of me. Fine, but you're right, it's getting late and the sun is setting over the forest. We should find a place to rest for the night. What do you say we grab some supplies from that nearby village? San, you look uncertain. What do you want to say? One will listen if you want to talk about something. Shizuko-chan, what's that hint about? What on? Is this some kind of joke? Why is Snee trying to make a deal with the CBOT? And what's with the weird date, January 2021? This doesn't add up. Wait of you. When Shizuko-chan talks to me, it sounds like you're angry. Often I've been told that it's my fault. I'm sorry about that. Commit Yurihim is a big lie. I'm haunted by that day, no matter how hard I try to forget it. The thought of what happened keeps echoing in my head, and I just can't shake it off. Maybe if I go back far enough into the past, I can convince myself that nothing really happened. But the truth is, it did. And every time I think about it, I'm reminded of how powerless I was. What's on with her? Why is she being so evasive about the truth? It's like a strange coincidence, but maybe it's just fate. I've been thinking about this for 5 years now, and every time I go back to the letter, I question myself. Kaori and Sari were right when they said you have 4 different personalities, Shizuku-chan. You're far from what I had in mind. What's going on here? Why would you ask me to say these ridiculous things? You know I'm not some kind of messenger boy for your schemes. And what's with the weird numbers and codes? Are you trying to send a secret message or something? Of our time together are all I have left, and yet they're what make me feel alive. Even now, I can still see your smile, Shizuko-chan, and it brings comfort to my heart. But there's something more I need to tell you. There's a bit of confusion here, and it's hard to decipher what's going on. Can you please clarify who these characters are in the story and what their relationship is supposed to be? This would help me generate a more coherent and fitting voiceover line for this page. Efforts to move on, Shizuko's feelings for the past still linger, and she finds herself drawn back to a time when she could share moments with someone. What's on with Ruri's face? She looks like she's seen a ghost. And what's that smell? It's not just the usual stench from the factory, is it? I have a feeling something's off today, and I need to know more about Shizuko-chan. A series of fragmented thoughts, but one thing is clear, Imsanri is caught off guard by Ruri's words. The notation 1 and the numbers that follow it appear to be some sort of internal note or annotation, possibly from the creators themselves, rather than part of the dialogue. Of what I've done haunt me still, and the weight of those transgressions refuses to lift. The guilt of my past actions cannot be pardoned, that's why I'm consumed by this unending darkness. How do I even start with knowing more about Ruri-chan, and how can I possibly repay her kindness? Of the past linger, yet we struggle to reconnect with those who once held significance in our lives. Pain and hurt still linger, a constant reminder of the mistakes of my past. Like that his flaws ultimately made the project better, and now Kaori is responsible for its success. Kaori? That Kot's resolve is being tested by the silence of his allies. Let's head back. Oh, I see. Fine. Let's take off with Ruri-chan. Then we'll call out the Pathfinder. There's still plenty of time today. But Hoshi-kun. I think Kaori-chan, we should have done something fun today. Yes, it has been a good day. I guess I can leave her to you. That's good. Just get a hold of the rest of the pictures and be done with this already? The children have found a way to communicate with each other, using their own unique language. They're flying. It seems like their night out is off to a sizzling start.
But what's behind his hesitant expression? Is he regretting bringing her here?
Not sure what's going on, Ichinos, but it sounds like we're in a bit of a situation here.
Can you tell me more about what's happening? And Shizuku, I wanted to ask you something before we go any further. That sound?
A faint noise echoed through the abandoned alley, making me wonder if I wasn't alone. Regret still lingers, and the fear that once consumed me is still there, a constant reminder of how much I've hurt those closest to me. His apology still haunts him, a constant reminder that no amount of words can erase the pain he's caused.
It's catching up with us, isn't it?
It's been a long time since we last spoke, and yet the memories of that night still linger. But now, I see someone different standing before me, someone who seems to have left their old life behind.
You're haunted by what happened all those years ago, aren't you? The letter you wrote about it must have taken a lot of courage to send.
But that's not the only thing that's changed. The way others see you now is nothing like the image I had in my head. It's unsure of how to respond, but clearly Kaori has given him some conflicting instructions.
Here I am, still trying to find closure with a version of you that's been lost in time.
Between them is palpable, but it's clear that both parties are still wary of being hurt again. Holding us back is the pain of what happened between us, and I'm not sure I'm ready to face that again. Hands before me, the same fearless spirit is there, but now it's tempered with a glimmer of hope and a deep-seated longing for connection. You've caught me off guard with your unexpected confession, contradicting everything I said before. I'm truly sorry for my previous words, and I know it's all coming at you very suddenly. The mistake still haunts me, but forgiveness is a burden I've yet to bear. She can handle the real me, not just some idealized version.
A part of me is connected to you again.
The apology and the letter may have seemed like nothing more than words, but they've brought us full circle. A thread that was thought to be forever broken has been rewoven, connecting our lives in ways I never could have imagined. Rages within him, as he struggles to reconcile the depths of his own self-loathing with the cruel words of others. His voice cracks under the weight of his secrets. Regret and guilt has finally begun to lift, and I'm not sure if it's a new beginning or just another illusion, but one thing is certain: the person responsible for this change is the one who saw beyond my flaws.
Kaori, everything feels empty now. Even talking to Shizuku just hurts more.
Whatever it takes to be there for her, to hold on to the hope that our love can overcome any obstacle and make all her dreams a reality.
Time for the baby to come, so we should get moving and head out. Should we call your dad before we leave?
Their conversation is wrapping up, but they're not done discussing yet. They'll send some photos later and are eager to show them off.
The tone is casual and friendly.
It is clear on the students' faces, with Ruri-chan and Thanks Lot both acknowledging the help they've received. But now, Shizuku takes charge, her voice firm as she declares it's time to move forward. And then there's Ioi, a quiet presence lurking in the background, observing everything with an air of mystery. We're supposed to have more than just a few minutes to ourselves, but I guess that's not going to happen now. Navigated through this quaint, rustic tavern, the wooden floorboards creaked beneath his feet, and the sound of murmured conversations filled the air. The patrons seemed to be enjoying themselves, laughing and chatting with one another. He spotted a figure with a wheelchair nearby, and an awkward silence fell over the group as they caught his attention.
The whole day planned, just the two of us. I'm getting a little nervous, though. How long has it been? And what if I mess up? Of carefree summer days spent at the aquarium, surrounded by laughter and ease of navigation for those with wheelchairs.
The corner has always felt like our own secret sanctuary. The memories we've made here are etched in every stone and whispering leaf. I'm so glad I could bring you back to this special place, where time stands still and all that matters is the present moment together with you.
Changing the subject, aren't you? What's really going on with you and your family?
Fault, no need to apologize.
I had too many things on my plate already, and now with the tank approaching, we have to get moving. Beautiful day today, just like the numbers on that clock seem to be saying. Broken through to me, but it was all just a ruse, manipulating me with her fake affection and using the novel as an excuse to see me every day. And in doing so, she pulled me out of my darkness, gave me someone to rely on, but at what cost? Gone, leaving me with just these words, a bittersweet reminder of the love we shared. You always shut me down. I've given you everything, and yet you still find fault with me. Can't you just let go of your doubts and be happy for once? Attempts to salvage the situation fall flat as she awkwardly tries to brush off the tension, but it's clear that the atmosphere has been irreparably damaged. Someone just got a haircut and you're pointing out the resemblance to a jellyfish, but in all fairness, it's kind of cute. Jellyfish float leisurely about the tank, it's as if time itself is being distorted. Every moment feels like an eternity, and yet, in this serene underwater world, I'm reminded of the fleeting nature of life. It does slow down, doesn't it? Even the gentle undulations of their translucent bodies seem to be suspended in a perpetual state of tranquility. If only it would freeze altogether, then maybe we could hold on to these moments forever. But alas, time keeps ticking, leaving us with nothing but memories. This hurts. It's like their day trip to the aquarium turned out to be more eventful than they had anticipated, with Kenne's book already predicting some of the events that transpired. It hung in the air, a harsh reminder of the uncertainty that had always plagued them, and he couldn't help but wonder if he'd just sealed their fate with those careless words. Kaori? Out of here. This place is getting too crowded, and I don't like the looks of those strangers nearby. I'm so sorry, but the message is unclear. Can you please clarify what you're trying to say? The handwriting is difficult to read and some of the letters are jumbled. The translation is almost palpable. Moments like these can be the most difficult to bear. To die. Echoes through the darkness, a desperate cry for answers. Always have to be her of all people. The passion in his eyes is palpable as he begs for a chance to help Kaori, his heart beating solely for her. What if there's something, anything, that could bring her back? Please, someone, anyone, have mercy on him and grant him this one wish. It's like a moment of panic, but I have to know what's going on. Willing to stay afloat amidst the chaos, but still manages a faint smile when someone offers her a lifeline. Not being here tomorrow is starting to sink in, and it's suffocating. The irony that a day full of joy can be tinged with sadness, knowing it may never be repeated, and the what-ifs can be almost too much to bear. Their emotions is suffocating, a constant reminder that no one escapes the pain they're enduring. Drip with venom, a mask to hide the scars of her own heart. It's a pain that still feels so real. The memory of her smile, the way my heart would skip a beat whenever she was near, it's all I'm left with now. I know it's selfish of me, but I really needed to tell you something. If listening to my words was painful for you, then I'm truly sorry, because I knew you would be the one to listen. That means you can just spill all the secrets, okay? I'm still your friend first. In light of this, but it really means a lot coming from someone like you. It's amazing how your words can cut through all the noise and reach my heart. And I have to say, your acceptance has been a beacon of hope in my life. It's not always easy being yourself, but with you by my side, I feel like I can be whoever I want to be. It means something, but the weight of her unshed tears and your own fragility are a harsh reminder that time is running out for you both. Her voice is calm, but her eyes dart nervously towards the approaching figures, as if weighing her options. A cryptic message, but I'm not sure what it means. Something important, what could that possibly be? And who is Ao's? Readers of Kimi to Tsuzuru Utakata are reaching out for one last chance at an award as the series draws to a close. Her voice cuts through the sterile silence, and for a moment, everything seems back to normal.
But the faintest hint of unease lingers beneath her words. These tests is taking a toll on her. It's like being trapped in the hospital, with no escape. You're asking me what my opinion is on something that's supposed to be ours? He's been thinking a lot about this, and it seems like there's some unresolved tension between them. He's bringing it up now, even though it might not be the most enjoyable conversation. I'm curious, what's going on with him and web novels? The vibrant halls of elementary school had turned into a cold and unforgiving place, where the mere mention of my name was enough to bring the other kids together in scorn. My childhood was a blur of apologies and self-loathing, but somehow, I never quite grasped the impact of my actions on those around me. Being alone was a heavy burden to bear, and the thought of living without purpose or belonging was almost too much to handle. I felt like I was suffocating under the weight of my own existence, and the only way to escape was to disappear altogether. To a world where I couldn't hurt anyone, and forgot my loneliness. It's strange that I was drawn to dark stories, but probably that's why I needed books to be happy. They showed me worlds beyond my shell, accepted me for the loner I was, and helped me feel less guilty about being alone. I had my own private sanctuary, hidden from the world where anyone could see and read whatever they wanted. But it was more than that. It was a place where I could express myself freely, without fear of judgment. And as I delved deeper into this virtual world, an idea began to take shape in my mind. Maybe I should create something of my own, something that would allow me to share my thoughts and feelings with others. The thrill of possibility sent a shiver down my spine. Words flowed out of me like a diary, a way to release all the pent-up emotions and thoughts I couldn't share with anyone else. It was my secret escape, my therapy in text form. A way to cope, to express my emotions through writing, and it brought me comfort, however strange it may seem. Like that the world where I thought I could connect with people has turned into a place where every move is scrutinized and criticized. That past tragedies still linger, and I'm left to pick up the pieces of a narrative that's been hijacked by hate and misinformation. Loneliness crushes me still, a constant reminder that my attempts at connection were nothing more than fleeting, superficial gestures. I'm trapped in this prison of self-doubt, unable to shake the feeling that I'll forever be an outsider, looking in on a world that's moved on without me. Under a haunting melody, a refrain of pain and regret that echoes through his mind like a constant shadow, reminding him that no matter where he goes or what he does, the scars of his past will always find a way to bleed into the present, leaving a trail of hurt in their wake. Away from his fears, not trying to become someone else, just desperate to survive in a world that seems too overwhelming. I'd taken care of everything that could give me away, and now it was time to eliminate the physical evidence, my novel. I had always planned for this moment, when I would be gone forever, leaving behind nothing but a digital memory. The past came flooding back as you appeared, and with a single glance, you saw right through me. You picked up the pieces of my broken draft, exposing secrets I'd kept hidden for so long, terrible things I'd done online, things that made me feel guilty and ashamed. It was then that I realized my life had become a long, tangled thread, and you were about to unravel it all. It's like they're trying to downplay the significance of what happened, but there's still a hint of regret and apology lingering in their words. It can be a heavy burden to carry, but I'm glad you felt comfortable sharing this with me. Don't forget, Shizuku, with every word you write, you have the power to change lives and defy even the darkest odds. It might sound like you're the one who's been crying all this time, but look at me, Kaori. I'm the one who's trying to be strong for her sake. He's out of place, and yet, somehow, he still manages to make me feel at ease. But seeing him like this, vulnerable and fragile, it's just, no, I'm not going to write that. It's too much, too real, and it would only hurt us both in the end. To imagine a happy ending when the reality is so harsh. But maybe that's what makes it worth fighting for, finding a way to make our impossible love story possible despite everything stacked against us. Possibilities are endless, but I have a feeling that our story will end in a way that no one expects. In the midst of a melancholic tale like Girls' Lover's Suicide, where sorrow and longing linger, I hold on to the hope that our own story will unfold differently, with no regrets to burden us. How things turn out in the end, as long as you're happy, I'll be content too. That's just how my crazy fantasies work, anyway. Always have the happy story that we wrote together, one where reality and imperfection shine through, not just some fantasy world where she's perfectly happy, but a true reflection of what it means to love and give back, no matter how imperfect it may be. Eyes locked onto the clock, her mind racing with the weight of time running out. Will not come, yet I hold back nothing. This is for her, a sacrifice of my heart on this page. The rest can wait, but the truth must be told. Congratulations to Kimi Tsuzuru Utakata for winning the Global Special Award in the next Manga Awards 2023, a well-deserved recognition of their dedication and talent. Pen is the only thing that can bridge the distance between them, and she writes with a desperate hope that it will be enough to keep Kaori by her side. Between reality and her ideal self are blurring, just like the boundaries of their complex relationship. My heart and soul into this letter, every feeling, every emotion, every secret, to reach her heart and show her the depths of my love. I was able to get this down on paper, especially considering how drained I was feeling just yesterday. Now, let's see, when she arrives, I'll finally be able to show her the progress we've made. To reassure him that it's no big deal, but he's clearly worried and apologizing profusely. The casual tone of the conversation and the mention of dinner suggests a close relationship between the two characters. What's going on? You're not even in school yet. Is everything okay? I've really broken through that frustrating wall, and I'm excited to share my progress with you. Despite getting here a bit too eager early, I managed to stop at a good point before the conclusion. Yesterday's breakthrough was incredible, my writer's block just melted away, and now I'm eager for your feedback. This is killing me, let me see it already. A cry of pain echoes through the deserted alleyway. He put out his heart to her, the anxious excitement was palpable, this time, just being together felt like a dream come true. Right? You'd think it'd be more awkward than adorable, but there's just something about it that makes me go awe. You are amazing, you know that? It's like you parted the clouds in my heart, reminding me of the beauty and goodness that can overcome even the darkest moments. The conversation is taking a turn, and it seems like emotions are running high. He's being overly dramatic, but she's trying to keep her cool and hear him out before forming an opinion. Like we're meeting up again tomorrow, right? I was starting to think you'd forgotten. What time were we planning on heading out? The eagerness is palpable, but perhaps a bit too much excitement. It's clear that this individual has a deadline to meet and a manuscript to finish, but I wonder if they're allowing themselves enough time to focus on quality rather than just rushing to complete it. And what about this her they mentioned, who exactly is the recipient of this finished novel? Another glance, but to be honest, I'm still not sure if this is finished. There's something about the tone that doesn't feel quite right. Maybe it's just my nerves getting the best of me, but I want to make sure I'm happy with what I've created before I walk out the door. What's on here? It looks like Kaori's name was mentioned, and I see a bunch of other names too, Ichihara_Drup, Hoshikawal, and then there's this reference to comic Yuriheim. Something's bothering me about this conversation. Just trust me. I know it sounds strange, but Minahama General Hospital has a way of handling things like this. Kao-chan is one of their specialists. I have time for this. Kaori's is still missing, and now you're telling me they've started surgery without even contacting us? That fateful day still linger vividly, etched in my mind like a scar that refuses to heal. The sight of her collapsing before me is forever seared into my retina, a haunting reminder of what could have been. It seems that tomorrow may never come for her. The weight of her words hangs in the air, a constant reminder of the uncertainty that lies ahead. What are they trying to say to me? Just disappear on me like that, without any explanation or even a goodbye. That day are hazy, but the pain of losing her still feels like a fresh wound. Why do you always doubt me? I've worked tirelessly on this novel, pouring my heart and soul into every page. It's not just about meeting a deadline, it's about creating something truly special, something that will resonate with readers long after the last word is read. And yet, despite all my efforts, you still seem uncertain. Kaori is scribbled repeatedly on the page, with various attempts to spell it out correctly. It seems that Kaori is struggling to write her own name. The jumbled letters and words suggest a sense of frustration or confusion. Tomorrow. Try, it's the only way out of here. I promise, and no matter how hard things get, I have to believe that she'll keep it. One thing I can do for her is be there when she needs me most, tomorrow. Kaori, they're not just a goodbye. They're a heart full of pain and longing. And gratitude, too. I wish there was more to say, but it's all that's left now. Everything for Kaori's sake, and now she's being gentle with her, but it's clear that Gact is still holding back his true feelings. John, don't worry about it, I'll just wait with you for a bit. What time do you have to go? Big day, and I don't just mean the exam. Dr. Kaochan's words have me wondering what's at stake. Kaori, you can do it. There's still so much I need to tell you. Don't give up now, you've got this. Wake up, Kaori. Her eyes widened as she whispered his name. Chan, can you hear me? It seems like there's some static interfering with your transmission. Nihao, is that what I'm picking up? On, Sar. Kaori's voice trailed off as she stared at the incomplete name on the list. His face lit up with a radiant smile as she saw you, her eyes shining with tears of joy. Quiet. What's going on? I'll leave your side again. Her eyes widened as she stared at the eerie message scrawled on the wall. I've found Kaoril, and she's being her usual cheerful self. I don't want to push her too hard, but I do want to talk to her about what's been going on. They're finally ready to discuss something important together, now that the formalities are out of the way. That summer still feel like they're seared into my mind, the laughter and adventures we shared together, a reminder of the beauty of having someone by your side. We've made together will always be a reminder of the impact you had on my life, and on Kaori's growth. It's amazing to see how far they've come, and I'm grateful for every moment we shared. Ticking, and with summer coming to an end, I'm determined to make the most of my time, finishing your novel by exactly 1750. Down the minutes until she can send you the last line, her excitement building with each passing second. Sunlight on your skin is a comforting feeling. It's like they're wrapping up their conversation, but there's a hint of unfinished business with that novel. It's a long time since I've seen you smile like that. Too late, and all I'm left with are these questions and feelings that I never had the chance to express. I wonder if she would have accepted me, flaws and all, if I had been stronger, if I had been able to give her everything she needed. That'll end this story are being spoken, but the true meaning behind them remains unclear. Guk's sudden presence raises more questions than answers. Interruption to the story, with a reminder that this is just a preview, and the actual issue will be available in Comic Yuriheim February 2024. Through their minds as they wait for a response that may never come? Is she still awake, or has the silence become too much to bear? The anxiety is palpable as they wonder if she's okay, if she's still alive. Date confirms it, 2035. The year we've all been dreading has finally arrived. Was kept, though I had to nod through the pain of losing you. It's like they're all relieved that she finally understood the situation. The tension is easing now, and a sense of resolution has been reached. Our time together are still so vivid, Kaori. I can barely sleep, wondering what she'll think when she reads the story for herself. Kaori's warm smile and the sound of her laughter still lingered in my mind as I struggled to accept the harsh reality of her passing. It's been a while since we've seen Shizuku at home. I'm not sure what happened between you two. Since Sari-chan stopped coming out of her room, and now she's completely cut herself off.
Manhwa, I'm coming. Let's see, who could be at the door? Knock knock. What's into Sari-chan lately? She seems to be saying some pretty strange things. I miss your own sister's funeral, especially after everything she went through. She's gone. It's all too much to bear. What's going on here? 1 minute we're talking about our favorite Yuri manga, comic Yuriheim, and the next, this? We're heading out to visit Kao-chan today. Kaori, it's been a while since we've all been together like this. Your friends are happy to be here with you in the comic Yuriheim March 2024. Days, but the shock still hasn't worn off. The thought of Kaori being gone is just too much to process. As I burst through the hospital doors, the weight of those 4 words still echoing in my mind, the doctor will be right with you. Her lifeless body haunts me still, a constant reminder of my cowardice. I couldn't bring myself to face the cold, hard truth that she was really gone. So I ran, hiding from the pain and the guilt, isolating myself in this darkness. But even now, the Kaori inside me whispers its own despair, threatening to consume me whole. If I had faced her body, would it have been enough to finally let go? Zuku-chan and Shiori-chan are finally saying hello. A whistling noise echoes through the air, followed by a whispered "why?" and an uncertain voice calling out, "Kaori? Come," but the response is met with only silence. Give me a letter and a diary, just like that. You want to give this to me? It's not just a diary, it's her instructions. That's what she wrote, plain and simple. But the questions keep echoing in my mind. Why would she entrust me with such a thing? What was she thinking? She's in my class, and I have a date with her tomorrow. I'm nervous. She probably doesn't remember me from high school. And to make matters worse, I just found out that the Yoshikawa girl from the girls' volleyball team is actually him. There's much about Hoshikawa that I never knew, and it's all written here. This is the life of someone who was going to end it all, but she saved me. Now, it's my turn to save her. I want to make her want to live. It's for me to leave, and I'm not sure if she'll ever be able to overcome her fear of people on her own. But I have to try, for both of us. I'm by my own misery, trapped in this desolate world where every moment feels like a weight crushing me. The suffering of those who suffered with Kaori still linger, a burden that weighs heavily on everyone. I've left her with so much unsaid, and now she's gone. Of that first conversation come flooding back, and I'm not sure if they're still remembered by anyone else, or even myself. There, frozen in shock, all I could think about was how silly I felt, and how my friends were trying to make light of the situation. But then your words cut through all the commotion. "You're cuter without glasses," and I felt a flush rise to my cheeks. The painful past come flooding back, reminding him of his struggles in elementary school, the admiration he once had for someone, and the harsh reality of facing mortality at a young age. That author were a lifeline to me, a reminder that I wasn't alone in my darkest moments. Their work, Girls' Lovers' Suicide, spoke directly to my soul and helped me make sense of the chaos within. I finally found the courage to tell you how I feel, Kaori. Every time I thought about confessing, fear held me back, and I didn't want you to just see me as a fan. But now that I've had more time to think, I realize my feelings for you are so much deeper than that. You're the one who saved me from myself, Kaori. Just to thank you, you're the reason I've kept on living. The way you blew my tiny plans out of the water, it's hard to put into words how much that means to me. This summer was supposed to be about making memories, but what I really made was a dream come true because of you. Born from Love, L's story now forever etched in the hearts of readers everywhere. I'm sorry for all the pain and heartache I've caused you, from the complaining and venting to the secrets and lies. Thank you for bearing with me through it all, even when it was hard. I'm especially sorry for making you worry, sad, and feel hidden from. I'm grateful that we were able to share our true feelings in the end, even if it was through writing. And most of all, I'm sorry that our time together had to come to an end,
leaving us with only memories of our morning glories growing wild and free.
Now just thinking about it brings back so many happy memories.
The person behind those words, I realize now that it was all just a fantasy, a make-believe relationship meant to bring comfort and solace in times of need. We were both seeking companionship, a shoulder to cry on, and shared moments together. I was having so much fun getting to know you, but there's one more secret I've kept hidden from you. My deepest desire was for them to be more than just a pretend couple. Follow me, I never meant for you to know my true feelings. Conveying them was selfish of me, but it's too late now.
If only you'll remember me, even in the happiness you find, it will be some comfort to me.
You love Kaori, don't you? Her gaze drifted towards the clock, her expression a mixture of sadness and resignation as she ticked away another moment in this never-ending cycle. The memories of your presence, your scent, and your warmth with me forever. Clear on what's at stake, I can finally take action. Walls around myself, shutting out the voices of loved ones who only wanted to help. The fear of getting hurt has been a constant companion, driving me to push people away.
But at what cost? I deserve to know the truth about what's been going on. IOU, someone's been hearing rumors about her. Wasn't she absent for a while? Forever, it seems. Waits are always long when you're on edge.
And the chatter in this town is getting out of hand, like so many voices all trying to be heard at once. Determination that burns brighter than ever, I'll show her what it means to truly live. Memories of that summer still linger in my heart, a bittersweet reminder of what could have been. It falls on Kimi Tsuzuru Utakata with a heartfelt message from its fans, thanking the creators for 4 unforgettable years of storytelling. I'm able to be able to share Kaori's story with you, even if it means translating a chapter myself. My goal has always been to preserve her original words, and I hope that comes across in these pages. Noise fills the airwaves, a faint hum of machinery in the background, as a low-resolution display flickers to life. A dramatic scene unfolds as the characters confront each other, their words hanging in the air like a challenge.
It seems that secrets are about to be revealed and emotions will run high. What will they discuss with Shizuku? And what's behind those apologetic words?
The tension is palpable as they begin their conversation.
What's going on with Shizuku?
She hasn't left her room for days and now she's not even answering the door.
Is everything okay?